Ticks are among the most dangerous parasites that can attack both you and your dog. According to the Center for Disease Control, ticks can be found in the United States that are carriers of microorganisms that can cause human diseases such as Lyme disease and Rocky Mountain spotted fever. We now have a deer bait station that will apply a ticicide to deer to help control these critters with an effective rate of almost 98% reduction in tick populations in your area. The deer bait station has 4 paint rollers on it, which rub against the ears of the deer while they're eating. It's an efficient way to kill ticks on your property. This bait station has killed up to 98% of the deer ticks in an area. It's recommended that you use 1 feeding station for every 40 acres to get adequate coverage for your property. This feeder uses only, and I repeat, only whole, clean corn. And the deer will only eat about 1.5 pounds of whole, clean corn per deer per day. So it's not that much per deer to feed these deer and treat them. The storage bin for the corn on the deer bait station can tell you how many pounds of feed are being consumed by the deer. This relates directly to the amount of pesticide you're going to apply to the paint rollers. You need to follow the directions on the label to figure out how much pesticide to apply to the rollers. It's not difficult. It's very easy to do.
This is the applicator gun. By squeezing this, fluid will be sucked up through this tube that goes into the can. This is the pesticide. Follow the application directions and wear gloves. This is a new unit, so it's not dirty. But you'll draw in the amount of pesticide needed, and then you'll just push it down on top of the paint roller. So it's very easy to use. If you have any questions about it, read the directions. The directions are thorough.
When placing corn in the feeder, do it on a dry day so the corn does not get moldy. Deer will not eat moldy corn, and moldy corn won't flow through the system to the troughs where the deer feed. We like to keep track of the amount of corn that is consumed, because with the knowledge of the amount of corn consumed, we can figure out, using our pesticide label, how much pesticide to add to the paint rollers. Also, we like to make sure that in the trough where the deer feed, there isn't much corn. When there's a lot of corn, they can eat it fast and they don't get as much of the pesticide on their ears. We want them to work at the station to get the pesticide on their ears. We check the station once a week to make sure that the hopper where the deer feed from is clean and that the corn will flow out, that we have corn in our storage bin, and that we have the correct amount of pesticide on the paint roller applicators. In this manner, deer in your neighborhood will become your tick-killing machines. The efficiency of this feeder in eliminating ticks in an area can be upwards to 98%. A 98% reduction in ticks will mean that your likelihood of catching the Lyme disease will dramatically go down.
Mystery illnesses such as enterovirus 68 are rapidly emerging in towns and military bases housing undocumented immigrants. The CDC has outbreak specialists in places who are currently attempting to identify whether the causative agent is bacterial or viral. These illnesses are now appearing in communities near where the government is housing scores of illegal immigrants in detention centers. Sending your children to schools where illegal, undocumented immigrants are now being schooled can expose your children to scores of infectious agents. What can you do? Good hand washing, covering your cough, and not sending your child to schools can help prevent infection. In other words, homeschooling is a preventive option, as there's no antiviral medicine for enterovirus 68 and no vaccine. Subsequently, Avoiding exposure and washing hands is your children's only defense. Clearly, Obama is by overloading the government with financial demands and healthcare problems that cannot be met. This will collapse our society by creating chaos. Involve your family in activities that do not involve contact with those who may be infected. Outdoor activities such as gardening and landscape projects can be an alternative to contact sports, which easily transmit diseases. Building walls and evergreen screens will help families obtain more privacy and thus have less contact with neighbors. This will help reduce exposures by shielding contact family members. Great tree suggestions for fast-growing screening include arborvitae, cypresses, pines and spruce trees. The fastest and hardiest tree for northeast landscapes is the green giant arborvitae. Highland Hill Farm is a leading grower of green giants. Call for Green Giants Highland at 215-651-8329. Obama's African national security folly, sending troops to Africa to control Ebola, is beyond stupid. What African troops are doing to establish quarantines is shoot people who cross borders or violate quarantines. Is that what Obama plans to support? Africans do not trust us. How will this help us? U.S. troops are not skilled in infectious disease control. Obama seems to have a very confused vision of what national security means. Doctors who are highly trained got themselves infected. What will happen to our troops?